Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? This your boy Big Hawk. Welcome to another episode of My Perspective Podcast. Thank y'all so much for tuning in another week, rocking with me. Appreciate you. To all my day ones, I love you. Thank you so much for joining the team, joining the family. To all my newcomers, hey man, double salute. I thank you for finding my content good enough that you want to subscribe to the channel. Thank y'all so much. Before we get started, disclaimer: your boy ain't no doctor, lawyer, scientist, clinical psychologist. I ain't no relationship coach, life coach, health coach, none of that stuff. I'm just an old head with a mic and a message. And I hope what I say resonate with you. I hope it provokes thought. I also hope it provokes change. But if not, no harm, no foul. Because guess what? It's just my perspective. If you can use it, beautiful. That's the goal. If you can't, well, that's in the garbage. Let's get to it. Listen, do you believe that you have the capability? Do you have what it takes to change your mindset, to change your life, to change your life's course and direction? Do you believe that? I believe that. And I believe that for you. The problem is, you got to believe it for yourself. What if I told you that in 21 days, you begin to change your mind from negative to positive? You can begin to change your habits from negative to positive. You can begin to unlearn negative bad practices and relearn positive, healthy, good practices in 21 days. I talk about it. Hey, prime time. That's what we're gonna talk about today. Prime time. The power of 21. Power of 21 is basically that you can change habits from negative to positive in 21 days of consistency. You can begin to change habits. In life, I've said it before, we are we're naturally created, we're naturally designed to be negative before we are positive. When you're raising kids, grandkids, and just people in general, you see that a person tends to be negative before they tend to be positive. Positivity has to be intentional. Positivity has to be cultivated. Positivity has to be um, created, learned. It's a skill, if you will. Negativity is just in our nature. When we think about negativity, we think about, you know, we always think what we can't do before we think what we can do. And that's just a form of protection, a form of keeping us from losing what we already have. And when you think about it from the natural sense, you don't even put no thought into it. We see it to be a good thing, but in actuality, and in reality, it's stopping you from propelling yourself going to the next level and achieving that next set of goals and dreams that you may have, things that you haven't already acquired due to a positive mindset. So today, man, we're gonna talk about, give you a few keys, a few nuggets, a few gems to hold on to begin to create a positive mindset that will lead you to changing your life and begin to develop self mastery in order to achieve greatness in your life, whatever that greatness may be for you. I don't use that word greatness lightly. I know it's a vague word, I know it's broad stroke, but I want you to become the greatest person that you can possibly be. I want you to become the best version of you, and in becoming the best version of you, I want you to achieve the greatest level of success you can possibly achieve, that you can possibly achieve. And that only comes from a renewed mind. I'll say it again. Achieving greatness only comes once you renew your mind. All my Bible believing uh, family members, the Bible say, Do not conform to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. I also say, in man dwelleth no good thing, but in Christ I can do all things that pertain to life and godliness. So you have to have a mindset shift in order to achieve greatness and go to the next level, to achieve your goals and dreams and aspirations. You're not going to do it with the mindset you currently have. So let's get to it. The first thing that you have to do when achieving a new mindset in 21 days, you have to make a decision. Simply that. You have to make a decision that today is enough. I had enough of mediocrity. I had enough of low level thinking. I've had enough of status quo. I've had enough of not believing that I can be greater than what I am currently. That word decision is it derives from a Latin term which means to cut off. Once you decide to make a change in your life, you got to cut some things off. You have to cut some practices off. You even have to cut some people off. That's what decision means, or to decide means. It means to cut off. Because in order to get what you never had, you have to do what you never done. And for those who are trying to get to that next level but don't know how, this is the very first step. This is the very first step in the solid foundation. You have to make a decision. To get what you never had, you gotta do what you never done. If you haven't decided to be intentional about your purpose, how you gonna see your purpose? How you gonna reach your purpose? So you have to decide. And that word decide means to cut off. You have to cut off that old negative mindset, that old way of thinking, that old way of moving, that old way of doing things, right? So that's the first thing. Make the decision to stop doing uh, the negative practices that you once doing, once upon a time have been doing. So when you cut things off, guess what? You have to be intentional. You have to be um, purposeful. You have to do things on purpose. We use that word. You did that on purpose in a negative way. It has a negative connotation when you first think about it, when you first hear it. But no, to do things on purpose is a great thing. It's a positive thing when it comes to mindset shift. You have to live life on purpose. If you just haphazardly just living life without no aim, without no goals, without no focus of where you're going, man, you just merely existing. You're not living, you're not thriving, you're just merely existing. You just here with with nothing to guide you, nothing to motivate you. That's a bad place to be. But guess what? The majority of us are living in that level of comfortability. We're not getting nowhere. We're just barely making ends meet. We're just going along to get along. We ain't trying to make no waves. We ain't trying to disrupt anything. We're not trying to change our life or our situation. That's the terrible place to be. You can have a good job. You can have a decent living, but if you're trying to create a life that you've never had before, you've got to do some things you've never done before. That starts with making the decision to change. Making the decision to change. The second thing is uh, you got to be aware. You got to be aware. Be aware of your daily habits. Be aware of, learn how to be aware of, be cumbersome of what triggers you, what moves you, and take note for the mental, or write it down, or put it in your phone. Awareness is the key to change. If you don't know better, you can't do better. But when you know what you're doing and you know the things that are not positive to your goals and dreams, make yourself aware of these things, and then you begin to correct it. You take that journey of 21 days to correct it. Awareness is powerful. Awareness is powerful. You find yourself uh, just engaging in negative talk, non-positive things when you could be doing positive things. Become aware of that. You know, by nature, we're gonna gravitate to negativity just by nature. If you're not purpose driven, if you're not living life on purpose, uh, talking to that female a little too much, saying little things that are not conducive to your purpose, trying to we think about these things. It's second nature. We don't even realize we're doing these things. Cracking jokes at the inopportune time, like trying to skim off the top, trying to find an advantage to get over um, the improper way. These are things we do without second nature. You know, you might take a pen and sign something, and then just put the pen in your pocket. You don't even think about what you're doing. These are the things you have to take note of. As small as they may seem, you have to take note of it, and then does this align with my purpose? Does this align with my purpose? We don't see these things as being dishonest or wrong because we just do it without even thinking. But it's the little things that destroy the big picture. So become aware. And once you become aware, then you can fall into daily discipline. Then you can fall into daily dis did not fall into, I'm sorry. Then you can start daily disciplines. This is the procedure of unlearning and relearning. When you become aware of your negative ways, your negative actions, the things you do on a daily basis without even thinking, then you bec- then you be, then you can decide to change. When you become aware of your actions, awareness is a good thing. Self awareness is powerful, powerful when it comes to change. You got to become aware of what you're doing because we do things second nature in our sleep. We don't even think about half the stuff we do because we do it so much. It's just second nature to us. So become aware of your actions, and becoming aware of your actions is going to be paramount to the 21-day change in creating new, healthy, positive habits. Now that you're aware, now that you begin to set daily disciplines that's going to shape your mind into a positive realm, now you can begin to set goals. Now you can begin to set goals. And for me, it's just my opinion. When you set goals, you always want to set the big goal. You want to set the big goal, um, but you got to break that big goal into smaller, achievable goals actionable steps that can get you ultimately to the big goal, right? So if you set a goal that you want to become um, a motivational speaker, just use that for an example. You want to become a motivational speaker, but you don't have no skills and desire other than a passion that's inside of you. You got to break that down into actionable steps. Are you good in front of the camera? Are you good in front of people? The most challenging skill in the world is not becoming a doctor, it's not becoming a lawyer, it's not becoming an engineer. It's public speaking. That's the most challenging and the most scariest thing for the great majority of people in the world today is speaking in front of a crowd of people. We can crack jokes, we can talk to our friends and loved ones and have a great time, be real comfortable. But when you stand in front of people, or I don't care if it's 10, 15, 20 people, 50, 100 people, that will shake you. That will shake you. So if you want to become a motivational speaker, you have to begin to take smaller, uh, actionable steps. That's going to get you to the ultimate goal of becoming a motivational speaker where people will pay to hear your thoughts. People will pay to hear your experience. People will pay to hear your success story. So let me start with, just for an example, getting in front of the mirror with a comb, pretend it's a microphone, and just start talking. Okay? You're doing that. You don't like how your voice sounds. You don't like how you control the crowd. Okay? You may have to take a Toastmasters class. You have to go to Google University or YouTube University to watch other individuals who are doing the same thing you are aspiring to do. And they may have keys and nuggets to give you. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. You see somebody doing something successful, learn from the successful people. These are small, actionable steps that can be done that create small victories, that builds momentum. All right? Start goal setting. Setting goals and then create a plan of action to achieve those goals. I said, you want the big goal. God show you the end from the beginning, right? That's the big goal. That's the finish line. But what God don't show you is the journey. And the journey is breaking down the big goal into smaller goals that will create action, that you will create actionable steps to achieve, which will create smaller victories, which will create momentum to get you to the big goal. Right? Success is not an accident, y'all. Success is not an accident. Success leaves clues. I'm gonna say it again. Success is not an accident. Success leaves clues. Anybody who has become successful in whatever their field is, there is clues that are left so that you can grab them and use them and become successful in your own right. I'm on here on this platform I created to share my life experiences so that people can avoid the mistakes that I've made, whether in regards to relationships or whether in regards to business or just life in general. I've made so many mistakes that I don't mind sharing my mistakes so that you can avoid the pitfalls that I wasn't fortunate enough to avoid. Success leaves clues. I'm giving you the nuggets where I've been successful at, but I'm also giving you the nugget so you can avoid the mistakes I've made. That's the power of mentorship. That's the power of mentorship. Once you begin goal setting and planning, it's okay to get you a mentor. It's okay to get you somebody to help you circumvent um, the pitfalls of life. That's what they're there for, right? So start setting goals, um, and so you can attain them in an efficient, in an effective way. You know? Ain't no lesson like a bought lesson. Ain't no lesson like a bought lesson. But the Bible says, "Only with thine eyes shall I see the reward of the wicked." That means learn from other people's mistakes. So in this 21-day challenge, in this 21-day uh, process of mind renewal, you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional. Okay, so now that you're on the journey, you're making mistakes. Guess what? It ain't gonna be 21 days straight that you're not gonna mess up. I'm telling you right now, because we're so used to doing things a certain way that we don't even think about the mistakes that we made. We just live in life like we normally do. But when you make a decision to decide to change, when you become self-aware and then start to create those daily disciplines, it's not going to be quick just like that. This is what you have to do when you're in the process of making these daily decisions. Um, when you mess up, don't dwell on it. Don't dwell on it. Just pick it where you left off and don't do it again. This is going to create the resiliency in you. This is going to create the endurance. This is going to create the strength. Every successful person makes mistakes. They're not perfect. But what they do is they learn from their mistakes to become aware of the mistakes they made so they can't make the mistake again. That's all it is. It's muscle memory. It's muscle memory. And this takes time. That's why I call it the power 21. That's why it's called the power 21. You're making the mistakes, but you're minimizing the mistakes you make every day, every day, every day. And at the end of the 21 days, you'll become more cognizant of the mistakes that you make, and you become less likely to make those mistakes. Now, truth of the matter is this: to change a habit, it doesn't take 21 days. It may take longer than 21 days to master uh, your new discipline, your new habit. However, 21 days is the catalyst for change. 21 days is a catalyst for change. Deion Sanders wasn't the best cornerback in NFL history by happenstance. He became the best cornerback in NFL history by repetition, practice. When he didn't want to, when he didn't want to practice, repeating the same thing over and over again until you master it. Repetition is the key to success. Repetition is the key to success. It's not about perfection; it's about progress. The 21-day catalyst to change is about becoming repetition in the positive nature that you're striving to become, that you're striving to obtain. Becoming repetition, that's called mastering your craft. That's called mastering your craft. There's beauty in repetition. It seems monotonous. It get old, get outdated. You want to do something different. You want to do something exciting. No, stay in it. Stay in it. Because guess what? If you don't master it, you're not gonna get to the next level. So you might as well master it now. You think being great is a beautiful thing? It looks good to the person who ain't there yet, but the person who's there is lonely. It's monotonous. It ain't always fun, but the results are worth it. The results are worth it. You gotta ask yourself, is it worth me giving myself 21 days to change my mindset in certain areas rather than staying mediocre and don't get nowhere in life? You're gonna stay on that hamster wheel going round and round in circles, becoming really, really busy but not achieving anything? This is the power of 21. To change your mindset, to change your situation, to get off the goddamn hamster wheel and get out the rat race and create the life you truly desire to live. This is what the power of 21 can do. This is what the power of 21 can do. You begin to change your mindset. You begin to uh, create the life you want to live. And in creating the life you want to live, you will begin to do not, you not, you will begin to get out of the rat race, then create your own lane in life, and achieve the goals and dreams that you truly desire to live. And you then will begin to live the life that you truly desire to live. But that all comes from renewing your mind. And then mind renewal, it starts with 21 days of consistent focus, consistent, deliberate actions for positive change. You can do it. All the greats have done it. All the greats have done it. I don't care what business you in. I don't care what field you're trying to become in. I don't care what entertainment genre you're trying to break into. I don't care if you don't desire to be a boss. If you want to just be the best corporate employee that you possibly can be, it starts with mind renewal. All it takes is 21 days to begin to recreate your mind, reshape your mind, reshape your thoughts and dreams, goals and visions. 21 days. Let's do it. Prime time, baby. Deion wasn't the best for nothing. He wasn't the best for nothing. That number 21 is not iconic for nothing. It represents tenacity. It represents focus. It represents toughness. It represents resiliency. It also represents greatness. Going in right there. Do you have what it takes to change your mind? I believe you do, but you gotta believe in this. You gotta believe it yourself. That's all I got for you today. It's your boy Big Hawk. Till next week. Remember this: success leaves clues. Also remember this: perfection is the thief of progress. If you don't start now, then when? Till next week, I love you.